Hi all, and welcome to my new video related to Bitcoin education. With this video, I will start a series of 15 lectures related to the blockchain. So we will see step by step what Satoshi Nakamoto was able to build and why. The first part is called the double spending problem because for every topic is also the most important thing is to understand which is the problem that we are trying to solve. Let's start with that. So this presentation is for educational purpose only. As a disclaimer, it's not a financial advice. And the article that I took as reference is Bitcoin is Time, and the author is Dergigi. And you can see here the link. I strongly recommend you to read the article because it's a very interesting one. You can see here all the videos I will make related to the blockchain. So we start with the double standing problem, then introduction to blockchain, then we'll discuss about two important topics related to technology, public key cryptography and hash functions, and then we will have 10 presentation related to every step in order to move from a centralized model to a decentralized one. And at the end, there will be the conclusion. So let's start with the first part. So we are used to say that time is money and money is time, but the relation is much more profound. Keeping track of things in the informational real system, in the informational realm, always imply keeping track of time. Telling the time is as easy as glancing at whatever clock is nearby. You can just watch your clock and see what time is it. And you will be right when it comes to everyday tasks. But when it comes to synchronizing the state of a global advertiser distributed network, telling the time becomes an almost intraceable problem. How do you tell time if the clock can be trusted? How do you create the concept of a singular time if your system spans the galaxy? How do you measure time in a timeless realm? And what is time anyway in a decentralized world? Timekeeping devices have transformed, in fact, civilizations more than once. And as Lewis Mumford pointed out in 1934, it was the clock, not the steam engine, is the key machine of the modern industrial age. Today, it is again a timekeeping device that is transforming our civilization. A clock, not computers, is the true key machine of the modern informational age. And this clock is Bitcoin. And we will see in the next videos why. There are two ways, in general, there are two ways to keep track of things, at least till when Satoshi Nakamoto invented Bitcoin. Physical tokens and ledger. You can either use real world artifacts directly, for example, give someone a seashell, a coin, or some other tangible things, or you can replicate the state of the world by writing down what happened on a piece of paper. Money, in fact, is essentially a tool to keep track of who owns what to whom. Broadly speaking, everything we have used as money up to now falls into two categories: physical artifacts and informational lists, or to use more common parlance, token and ledgers. The first method, a physical token, directly represents the state of things. The second one, a ledger, indirectly reflects the state of things. Tokens imported are physical and distributed. Ledgers are informational and centralized. Tokens are inherently trustless, and we will see why. Ledgers are not trustless. And in the digital realm, no matter how intensively marketing gurus try to convince you of the opposite, we can only use ledgers. It is an informational realm, not a physical one. So the ledger-like nature of all digital information is the root cause of the double standing problem. In fact, information never represents the state of the world directly. The movement of information implies copying. Information exists in one place, and to move it, you have to copy it to another place and erase it its origin. This problem doesn't exist in the physical realm. In fact, in the physical realm, we can actually move things from A to B. I can give you a coin or 10 euro, and you have this 10 euro. The informational realm doesn't have this property. If you want to move an information list from list A to list B, you have to copy from A to B. There is no other way. This difference in properties shows that there really is no way to hand over information. It is impossible to pass on a digital token like you would pass on a physical one, since you can never be sure if the original owner destroyed the information on his hand. Digital token, like all information, can only be spread like an idea. In fact, there is simply no way to move digital information from A to B. Information is always copied from A to B. And if the copying process was successful, the original copy of A is deleted. This is why the double spending problem is so tricky. Absent of a central authority, there is no way to move anything from A to B in a trustless manner. You always have to trust that the original will be deleted. A natural side effect is that when it comes to digital information, it is impossible to tell how many copies are in existence and where the copies might be. When it comes, in fact, to physical token, the times of a transaction doesn't matter. You either have the coins in your pocket or you don't. You can either spend them or you can't. The simple act of possession is the only prerequisite of spending. And the law of nature take care of the rest. In that sense, physical tokens are trustless and timeless. You don't need to trust anyone, and the time is really reflected if you have it or not. But when it comes to ledgers, physical possessions fall onto the wayside. Whoever is in control of the ledgers needs to make sure that things are in order. What is otherwise given by physical law, namely that you can spend money that you don't have and you can spend money that you have already spent previously, has to be informed by man-made rules. If these rules It is these rules that govern the orderly operation and maintenance of our ledgers, not physical laws. Without an absolute sense of time, there is no way to have a defined order of transactions. And without a defined order of transactions, the rules of our ledgers cannot be followed. How else? How else can you make sure how much money you actually have? How else can you make sure that things are in order? Which is the problem? Now let's look which is the problem that Bitcoin is trying to solve. As said before, till 2008, there were only two ways to transfer value: physically, transfer of tokens, example, you can see cash or gold, and digitally using a third party, updating a ledger, credit card, PayPal, as we saw before. The Bitcoin breakthrough from technological perspective is that it allows to transfer money digitally, money or value, without the need of the third party to handle and order the transactions. And Bitcoin solves the double spending problem. It prevents that without a third party, money can be double spent. Problem also known as the Byzantine generals problem. Let's look why. In fact, a Byzantine general's problem is a special condition of a computer system where the system's actors must agree on a concerted strategy, but some of these actors are reliable. For example, Byzantine generals during a siege must agree on a particular time to attack, but they are not in direct connection each other. So how they can agree over time? For sure, they can send messengers, but how you're sure that your messenger has been heard from the others and the other really follow what you're saying. And the goal of Bitcoin is exactly moving to a decentralized world, what banks or PayPal are doing to update their ledgers once payments are made. The blockchain is the technology used to reach that goal, avoiding the double spending issue. That's it for the first lecture, and for next time we will see the introduction on blockchain. Have a nice day and see you in one of the next video.